Hey guys, it's Jay from ASMR for Nerds. Today I'm going to be doing something a little different. Actually, not different at all. We're going to be looking at, of course, some comics. But this is something I wanted to do since I started this channel. And that is a complete read-through of the Infinity Gauntlet story. Now, the Infinity Gauntlet story is probably one of the most well-known comic book events. I'd say the most well-known, other than the death of Superman, which we've already done. So the Infinity Gauntlet was written by Jim Starlin, and much of it was drawn by, I believe, Ron Lim. And it all takes place around this Infinity Gauntlet right here he's wearing. And the Infinity Stones, each one of these is a different stone. There's one for time, power, reality, souls. What are the other ones? Jeez. I forgot. Space, maybe. Jeez, oh, this is terrible. We'll find out soon. I don't know why I always blank when I have to think of things. Anyway, so this story, it starts off really in a Silver Surfer story arc. And that story arc is called The Rebirth of Thanos. So that's where we're going to start off today. Because, that's where basically what this is Thanos going around the universe collecting the Infinity Gems. So if you have the gauntlet with every Infinity Gem attached to it, you then have godlike powers, and that's what Thanos is always after. One big difference between the comics and the movies, at least so far, is the portrayal of Thanos. So in the movies, it really seems like they're just building Thanos up to be like this just big, angry, tough bad guy. Bad father too, which he is. But in the books, he's treated like a very multi-dimensional character. Basically, he's always trying to do terrible, destructive things. But through some strange, turn of events, he always ends up teaming up with the good guys to fight a bigger evil, or self-sabotaging to save everyone. So, the character Thanos, they call him Thanos in the movies, but I don't know, maybe it's because I'm from New York or something, we call him Thanos. So Thanos is in love with death, like literally death. The Grim Reaper is a woman in the Marvel Universe, or shows herself to be one. So Thanos is so enamored by death itself, like the actual thing, actually dying, that he becomes in love with death, the incarnation. And that's really what sets up all of this. Thanos wants the Infinity Gauntlet so that he can please death and do destructive things. So here he is, a big bad guy. I think also one of the big good guys. But that's up for debate in the comic book universe. I'm going to put him away now. So, you might notice I have a little pen here. This is actually what I use to do my my drawings on my computer. It's a a Wacom tablet pen. Now I saw in another ASMR video, I'll give full credit. I believe the channel name is ASMR Circus. A girl was reading a book and tracing. So I thought I really liked how that sounded. So I'm going to do that a little bit. I'm also, I don't know if you noticed, slowing down how I talk. Because I feel like I might have been talking a little quickly in my first videos, but so let's get right into it here. So this is what we call a trade paperback. That's a paperback version of the collection of the issues. Now, I have all of these issues. I figured to read it in the trade form because it's a little easier. But when we do the actual Infinity Gauntlet series, I will take out my issues of that. Just because the covers are great, and even though it's not worth a ton of money, it's one of my favorite parts of my collection. So, okay, so on the page, here's the first one. The story arc starts with issue 34 of the Silver Surfer. See, it makes a great noise. He doesn't know why he chose to come to this desolate and forbidding planet. The astral Skyrider is too tired to care. Perhaps he'll find a retreat from the chaos that has consumed his existence of late. So many problems, so many battles. It's been so trying. Maybe even Maybe even cosmic heroes need a little time for rest. Maybe. It is a lifeless world without a name, but the weary traveler finds its bleak dunes and barren expanses refreshingly tranquil. A chance to escape from all the troubles that plague him, the doubts that haunt him. Here is a hideaway where a man can sort out the tangled weavings of life, and with a little luck, get some much-needed rest. Get some much-needed rest. His exhaustion is so total that it doesn't occur to him that it's been years since he last slept. I know some of us could relate. This big skull up here. What madness is this? From strangely ominous structure come? What purpose could such an evil-looking dwelling have? Its architecture smacks of Mephisto's Hades. Yet somehow I sense not that villain's hand in this matter. But there's something disturbingly familiar about this dark place. Deja vu? No, the feeling is more primal than that. Mine is a core reaction, very basic. As basic as life and death. Hurry, we must hurry. She's in a terrible mood. Oh, the mistress wants this one immediately. She's been in such a state ever since that encounter with the in-betweener. The in-betweener. Hate to even guess at what she's planning. It'll probably be something awesome. They don't seem to even notice me. These odd creatures passed me by without batting an eye. Why? I did nothing to elude detection, and they don't appear to be blind. Their lack of reaction to my presence makes no sense. It's unnatural. In fact, that's the way everything about this place feels. Unnatural. Unreal. Of course. It's all a dream. There I am, still sleeping out by my board. How long has it been since I last dreamt? Why not go with it? See where it leads me. Perhaps this is something I've been needing without even realizing it. It is said that dreams are but muddled messages from the subconscious, the most inaccessible of all realms. How can an explorer of the heavens do anything but jump at the chance to plumb his own long uncharted depths? He wonders what this trek into fantasy will reveal about his hidden self. With his shudder, the gleaming hero realizes just how long it's been since he's even considered this part of his being. Yet still he goes on. Still he goes on. She says to open the casket. Now, she. Death. There she is. I stand within the hall of death. I should have known. Open the chest and step back, Ratter. You don't want to get too close to this one. He's mean and hungry. I am free at last. Now before this, Thanos was defeated by Captain Marvel. As Thanos was attempting to retrieve the cosmic cube. So, the start of this story, Thanos is dead. It's something long dead, a malignant spirit. Yes, malignant. Never have I sensed such depths of depravity. Can this experience truly be naught but a dream? And if it is, does something as something. Why is that a word hard to read? And if it is, does something as many? How may this humble soul serve his Ebon mistress? Command and I shall obey. That's the spirit of Thanos. In life, you honored our monarch as no other did. She is in need of your services once again. Recent events have convinced Mistress Death that a severe imbalance exists within the universe. She fears that if this condition continues on unchecked, existence as it is now known may be in peril. And so she calls upon your unique talents to remedy the situation. Even in death, I live only to do the Black Queen's bidding. Let the heavens run red with blood. If it is her wish, planets shall crumble. Stars will nova and only black holes shall remain. I will shatter galaxies to reach whatever goal my mistress sets. So swears her greatest slave, the once and again all-powerful. Hold. This braggart has made such promises before and failed to deliver on them. It's true he has. But that was before he stepped into the side of the veil. His demise has raised him to a new plateau. But most of those who opposed him before are still on the other side. How can he hope to be triumphant over them all? He won't have to. The mistress has gazed into the mist and has seen this one's future. There is but one obstacle to success he need beware, and that is the cosmic being known as the Silver Surfer. This gleaming gnat is my adversary. They can see me. Why, he is nothing. Let him taste my power. Boom. Seldom have I felt such power. Never have I felt such pain. Pain. Can one feel pain in a dream? I never have before. Must clear my head. Something's wrong here. Terribly wrong. Have to think it out. Have to. No, it can't be. People, aliens, hundreds of thousands of them for as far as the eye can see. Where did they come from? What are they doing here? A better question might be, what are they all staring at? Can't see the forest for the people. To me, my board, the insanity grows ever deeper. The multitude seems to be entranced by the sight of that strange volcano, if that's what it truly is. The insanity grows ever deeper. The multitude seems to be entranced by the sight of that strange volcano, if that's what it truly is. Like so much in this dream, it does not appear natural to my eye. It looks man-made. Wait, there's someone standing on the crater's edge. Look at this page. It's a woman holding an infant. Holding, it looks more like she's... No. Too late. The heat, the flames. Not, but I could survive this inferno. Wait, it's the child. A burst of renewed hope and speed. Salvation. It's unbelievable. The babe yet lives. Let us be away from this hellish place and these maniacs, my little one. Don't cry, child, you're safe now. I will not return you to those lunatics. So young and so innocent. And the baby attacks him. My energy blasts have no effect on the beast. How? Smothering, suffocating. No. The people, the Hall of Death, gone. Were they ever truly there? Was it my original assumption correct? All a dream. But if it was nothing but a nightmare, what did it mean? It was all so strange, unexplainable, frightening. So much has happened since escaping my imprisonment on Earth. I've had no time to examine or analyze my feelings about this newfound freedom. It's time to face some facts. As much as I usually hate admitting it, there is a human being beneath this silvery shell. A human who may be suffering some form of a delayed stress syndrome. That may be the hidden message my subconscious was sending me. But for some reason that explanation doesn't have the ring of truth about it. So the question still remains, what was that dream all about? Perhaps it was a premonition. You were the disembodied spirit in my dream. How perceptive of you to notice. Who are you? My name is Thanos. I love this page. And I love this cover. A lot going on, and I know it's not just the best from a graphical design aspect with all the colors and stuff, but it harkens back to a time. The thing from the casket exactly returned to the realm of the living. I don't understand, which is why I'm here to explain. Explain. Now this is a very important issue, so if you're dozing, or if not, I don't know, this is a good one to pay attention to. It's also, for a creature that possesses such great cosmic power for as long as you have, you seem rather naive in some respects. Galactus apparently kept your existence rather cloistered, didn't he? Cloistered, that's a Pokemon. Perhaps you were going to explain about the great imbalance. Death's minions spoke of that. As well they should, for it is the most dire threat this universe has ever faced. In many ways it is a metaphysical danger, but one strangely more easily illustrated than explained. If you would step over into my vehicle, I'll show you. Fear not, your board will be safe here. Very well, but I warn you, Thanos. If this is some trick to separate me from my board, you'll find that my power comes from within and is a force to be reckoned with. You were warned. Are you through? Yes. One of the ultimate truths is that life and death are but different sides of the same coin. One could not exist without the other. Amazing. Thanos and his flying chair took the full force of my cosmic bolt and were unfazed by it. I've heard the Avengers speak of Thanos, that he was not to be trusted. To hear them tell it, he's the devil incarnate. Not anything like this calm professional creature I now see before me. Perhaps he's not the same Thanos. Obviously, my best strategy is to wait, listen, and learn. Life and death, the way existence was meant to be, and is. Not quite. I brought you here to Earth, a planet you are rather familiar with, to illuminate just that point. You are aware of the medical and other scientific breakthroughs this world's dominant species has made over the past few decades. Of course, you realize how these gains have dramatically extended the lifespans of these creatures. Yes, but are you also aware of the fact that more than half of the humans ever born on this planet are presently alive right at this moment? No, I wasn't, but your point, that this planet is becoming criminally overpopulated. Criminally, isn't that a bit harsh? No, I call this harsh forcing sentient beings to live under such conditions. But this is Tokyo, Japan, during the rush hour, hardly representative of what the situation is like on the whole planet. True, but it is a model of where this world is headed. Not necessarily these people. Produce garbage at an astounding rate. Each person in the United States alone creates nearly 2 tons of rubbish per year. This is a species that is rapidly burying itself in its own waste. Then there's the shameful things they're doing to their own atmosphere. You remember the smell of their befouled air, don't you? But let's not forget the nuclear and ecological time bombs they have scattered all about, a grand legacy to leave their children. Earth is a world rushing on its way to desolation and doom. Look about you, surfer, and see the future. You're wrong. I refuse to accept this future. There are those who care who will work to avert this tomorrow. Do you really believe that? Am I not merely echoing fears and sentiments you have yourself expressed? It's been nearly a generation since there was any serious talk of zero population growth. Environmental concerns are a joke on this planet. The people of Earth now live with the vague notion else will solve this problem for them. It never occurs to them that they themselves are that someone. So just pointing out here, does this sound like the talk of a bad guy or an environmentalist? Perhaps a socialist? I'm not saying that in a bad way, I'm just saying. Thanos' intentions, are they really that bad? Or perhaps is he misguided? We'll see, you decide. But what has any of this got to do with you, Thanos? This is a condition not unique to this world. What do you mean? Welcome to Solaria. It is a lush and bountiful planet inhabited by primitive yet gentle people. Beautiful, aren't they? Yes, very. Thanos keeps teleporting us around so frequently my board hasn't had time to answer my mental summons. True, the Titan hasn't done anything overtly hostile yet, but you notice these Solarians don't fear us. That is because this world possesses no predators. They have no natural enemies. Since simple creatures crave nothing but food and shelter from the rains, these desires are presently easy to come by, and so they have no reason to war on each other. Paradise, no. So it would seem they have nothing to do but laze about and multiply, which is exactly what they do. By my estimates, 20 years from now, their population will rise to a level far higher than this planet can support. Famine will set in, followed by clan warfare and cannibalism. Paradise becomes hell, but surely they can be taught. They have the intellect but not the motivation. Throughout the universe, no one wants to believe that such a nightmare scenario could happen to them. How do you begin to understand the gravity of the great imbalance? Science and a benevolent nature have allowed thousands of different species to flourish beyond the capability of their environs to sustain them. The grand design has been thrown off kilter. If left on their own, this universe's races will squander their riches and to perish within a few centuries. This pendulum will swing from one extreme to the other, from an overabundance of life to no life whatsoever. My mistress, death, like a constant and steady harvest, likes a constant and steady harvest. The balance must be maintained. That is why I have returned. You mean death sent you to right the universe's environmental problem? Precisely. How do you propose doing this? Euthanasia, by killing off 50% of this universe's population. So there is the big reveal of Thanos' intentions. Kill off 50% of the universe. I seem to recall some talk back in the Hall of Death warning you about me. Death's minions seem to think I could stand in the way of your plans. There is a slight possibility that you could do just that if you chose to challenge me, but you won't. You propose mass murder. Why shouldn't I stop you? Because I merely cut away the cancer to save the patient. There are other ways this goal can be reached. Your solution is too terminal. It won't allow it. Not only will you allow it, but you will aid me in this crusade. Never. You've already done so, Surfer. Back on Solaria. How? certain germs on your person, common bacteria from the air. These germs would normally perish during your voyages from one planet to the next, but this time I teleported you directly to Solaria. Microscopic life harmless to you and all Earth creatures, but quite deadly to the inhabitants of Solaria. The plague should be well established within the Solarian community by now. How? During our teleportation sessions, I took the liberty of manipulating our position in the time flow. I calculated that nearly 50% of Solarian population has perished by now. But if you hurry, you could still save the other half, or you can waste time pitting your powers against mine. And he decides to go help. The air trembles with Thanos' guttural laughter, thick with dark delight and contempt. It is a sound much like grinding bones and wailing souls. The heavens seem to ring with this ebon exhilaration, defying many laws of physics and nature. Deep within a far-off corner of space not truly linked with our reality, a godlike being known as Kronos hears this foul laughter and realizes that Thanos once again lives. While back on Solaria, the situation here is worse than I ever feared. The stench of death and disease fills the air. A universal antibody is needed. Fortunately, that's something I can provide. I once had to do the same for myself. The lad looks like as good a candidate as any to be the savior of his race. Two systems merge. The microorganism is encountered. A countering agent is produced from the cosmic ether and then pressed onto the young Solarian. That's it, lad, run. Go forth and touch the people, 10 people, and have them touch the others in turn. And so the cure will spread. By sunrise, the disease will be checked and this planet saved. Then the grim task of tending to the dead will have to begin in earnest. Thanos' harvest. Yes, child, this harvest also belongs to the Silver Surfer. I allowed the devil to outfox me. My stupidity cost this world and its people dearly. I stayed to aid the grisly cleanup, and then my penance begins. Somewhere amidst the stellar grandeur lurks a powerful madman. He is walking death. Lurid plots and dastardly thoughts incubate within his warped psyche. His goal is the death of billions. So I must search the near infinite vastness of the cosmos for this depraved demon. It is a task none but I can accomplish. Then when my search ends, I must confront and put an end to Thanos' insanity. Until then, let the universe beware. Epilogue. He is Kronos, father of the Eternals of Titan, and he is their god. He now walks the corridors of a higher plane of existence. But Mad Thanos is one of his descendants, and so he has a responsibility he must honor, and he has before. Once again, the soul is torn from its just rest. The body comes from and is endowed with the strength of the universe. Because of what he must face, he is power personified. Thanos once again lives, so must Drax the Destroyer. Thanos, where is Thanos? Surfer, I've been watching you. I've been following you. I've seen everything you've done over the past few weeks, including your meeting with Thanos, the Mad Titan. Now you're heading towards Earth. What draws you there? Now I see you're heading toward Avengers Mansion. This should be fun. The Avengers are such a zany group. Looks like you set off some kind of alarm, Surfy. Kinda clumsy of you. Freeze, mister, you're in big trouble. Greetings. I said freeze, pal. And when She-Hulk tells you to do something, you better listen. What's going on here? I'll take your shiny head off that big neck of yours, you. This young woman sort of bumped into me, and Eddie's Avenger, the Silver Surfer, is a friend. I'll handle this. Silver Surfer, oh yeah, the board, a dead giveaway. In the meantime, I suggest you go review our associate file so that you can better distinguish friend from foe. Hey, it was an honest mistake. Give me a break. Sorry about that. No harm done. What brings you back to Earth, Surfer? I seek information on a creature called Thanos. I seem to remember someone mentioning that the Avengers once had a confrontation with him. Not once, twice. And they weren't confrontations, they were all at war. But why are you so interested in him? The gent's death. The gent's dead. His status has changed. You must once again count Thanos among the living. What the devil are you talking about? I fear I've current information you might want to add to your other files on the Titan. Yesterday, while I was in Thanos' plans to murder half the population of the universe to right some metaphysical imbalance. Exactly. Insane. Unfortunately, past experience has shown that Thanos is more than capable of accomplishing just such a mad goal. Let me punch up his file and show you. Thanos may well have been the most dangerous foe the Avengers ever faced. We sort of inherited his headache. Originally, Thanos was the late Captain Marvel's problem, but he proved to be more than the Kree warrior and his Titan allies could handle alone. Thanos was backed by an army of galactic mercenaries and was always spinning some sort of universal threatening plot. His schemes finally escalated to the point where he gained possession of the Cosmic Cube, an astral Aladdin's lamp. That's when we Avengers were pulled into the case. Thanos used the Cosmic Cube to turn himself into God and became everything in the universe, and everything was him. That imaginative little move made him darn well unstoppable. Unfortunately, we didn't give him time to adjust to this omnipotent state of being. The Avengers and I and some of our friends turned on the juice, and eventually we found the break we needed, so desperately needed. It seems Thanos kept some type of link between himself and the Cosmic Cube. Marvel's cosmic senses picked up on his Achilles heel. With the cube shattered Thanos' link with the Infinite is broken, and we thought him destroyed. But you were obviously mistaken. You bet. Just like a bad penny, Thanos showed again a few years later. This time a cosmic being originally known as him, later called Adam Warlock, brought Thanos back to our attention. Only this time, Thanos didn't want to rule the universe. He wanted to destroy it. Apparently, Thanos had been hopping around the heavens collecting these little beauties. Soul Gem. You know about Soul Gems? Yes. Reed Richards, his wife, and I had a rather harrowing experience with them some months ago. Appears I have some file reviewing to catch up on myself. Apparently, Thanos planned to use the near-limitless power of the combined gems to blow the stars from the ether one at a time. His motivation, some kind of entropy trip he was on. I don't pretend to understand it. Sorry guys, when I'm reading up top, there's a little glare from my lighting and it makes it a little difficult. Anyway. This time, the Avengers, The Thing, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, and Adam Warlock faced down Thanos. It was a real cosmic Donnybrook. Earth heroes against alien hordes. Thanos actually physically went toe-to-toe with both Thor and the Thing. Adam Warlock was killed in the battle. But even in death, Warlock refused to let Thanos gain his dark victory. Somehow, Warlock's spirit returned through the soul gems to thwart the Titan's scheme. I never saw anything quite like it, and I hope I never will again. Warlock's ghost turned Thanos into stone, as cold and hard as the Titan's heart had been. Once again, it looked like the good guys had won, and that we'd never have to deal with Thanos again. I apologize for being the one to dispel that comforting illusion. By the way, who is that emerald man I saw earlier on? That'd be the Destroyer. Don't know much about him. He was a Titan killed a few years back. For any further info on him or Thanos, I suggest a trip to Thanos' father, Mentor. He's a good man. Titan's an artificial satellite around Saturn. Most folks think it's a moon. I know, I've met one of its citizens, Eros. Really? Did you know Eros used to be an Avenger? I didn't. I thought you Avengers more discriminating in who you allow to join your organization. Say what? Thank you for the information. Fare thee well. Sure, anytime. Surfy left in kind of a huff, didn't he? The boy must have had some past trouble with young Eros. Easy to see why. Eros is one fun guy. Surf on the other hand. But maybe I can remedy oil and water. Those two would never hit it off. But maybe I can remedy that situation. After all, that's what I came halfway across the galaxy to do. Adjust the surfer's attitude. Mission impossible. Not to me. Hey Surf, how's it hanging, 10? The Impossible Man. No, not now. I haven't time to fool with you right now, Impossible Man. There's this madman named Mumph. The gravity of Mars reaches out, and for some reason the surfer's board does not respond to his call for aid. Beautiful. Red, it really is your color. You have to look at yourself. Body smashing. Didn't you hear me? I have no time for games right now. No games, Surf. I'm here to teach you a valuable lesson. It's time for the Silver Surfer to go back to school. What are you talking about? I've been keeping an eye on you, Surf. You're not the fun guy you pretended to be when we first met. I saw that unsatisfactory little brush you had with Thanos. I've been giving that meeting a lot of thought. I'm talking some heavy consideration here, man. As I understand it, Thanos plans to kill off half of all the people in the universe, right? That's his goal. Well, I'm part of one half of the universe's population. Wonder if he chooses my half to waste. Just think of what an empty place the heavens would be without me. Who would provide all the fun and kick out the jams? Don't worry about it, I'll handle this. Well, you know, can you really deliver on that promise? I wish you'd stop changing shape like that. I'm just gonna grab another good old Jolly Ranger. As I said, I've been spying on you and found you to be less than the wild and crazy guy I thought you were. Dead serious. So Solomika just plots a stone drag. True, humor has never been one of my strong points. So what? So, Thanos is a stone drag also, that's what. And he's got you beat hands down in that department. Just what are you going on about? I'm saying that Thanos is much more stoic, grim, unflappable, stern, unlaughing, forbidding, humorless, and boring than you are. You take him on sporting your current attitude and he's going to make mincemeat out of you. You're saying you ain't got what it takes to out-grim the turkey. So you're advising me to be a clown, make them laugh. All the whole universe wants to laugh. You don't need a laser cannon if your jokes are real right on. You'll triumphant all the time, long as you have a humorous rhyme. Now you're solid muscle from your head to your feet, but that don't mean you won't be dealt a defeat. When that happens, laughing it off would be really neat. So make them laugh, make them laugh, make them laugh. My grandma said go out and tell them a joke, better than making them choke. Make them roar, make them scream, take a fall from a tall particle beam. Floppy feet, a smile button, and a comical face. Fine, they'll get you in out of any disgrace. You'll see a good joke's better than a spray can of mace. So make them laugh, make them laugh. Stop. I'll not tolerate any more of this lunacy. Surfy, how could you? Impossible, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. In fact, I can't understand how you're such a sap, Surfy. But I still love you anyway. Now do you see how your lack of humor could foul you up, Surf? I see that you are insane, and I see no reason to put up with any further abuse. I'm just trying to illustrate an important point, which is, sorry I asked. Don't be. You're not a funny guy, sir. Normally that's not a big problem. But now you're having a showdown with Thanos, an even less funny guy. You just can't win playing this dude's game. I've got a sense about these sort of things, trust me. You've got to lighten up or all is lost. It's a simple matter of mathematics. Thanos outgrosses you in the gross-out competition. Why am I wasting my time listening to you? Because deep within that stoic shell, you realize I'm making sense, which I admit is unusual for me. Enough, I'm leaving. Not until you reach the true cosmic enlightenment. What? I warn you, Impossible Man. I'm fed up. I'm not going to put up with any more of this. What are you up to now? Impossible Man. The trick is that you've got to burst out of your current misconceptions of what the universe is all about. It's an explosive idea whose time has come. Don't allow yourself to be trapped by what has been, but need not be, grasshopper. You won't go wrong taking this deal, you have my word on it. Enough is enough. Let there be an end to this buffoonery. I'll not tolerate any further nonsense. Sure, Surfy, whatever you say. I give up. You win. Just trying to help. Don't hurt me. I'm sorry, Impossible Man. I guess I overreacted. Didn't mean to deal with you so roughly. It's just that you're so infuriating, always talking and never listening. It's okay, Chrome Dome, I understand completely. I give up, you win. I'll lighten up, whatever that means. Honest? Yes. You promise? Yes. Hope to lose an eye if you lie. Haven't I given you my promise? Yes, but you don't look at all that happy about it. Take my word, please. Hey, young man, sort of. Anywho, you're gonna be alright, Surf. That's a tremendous load off my mind. I can now go back to being my old airheaded self. Responsibility like this is such a drag, but just to be sure. One last test. Well, once again, I feel there's hope for the universe. Let the crowds cheer. Let this day be immortalized in songs by Barry Manilow, with a hearty hi-yo, silver away, and da-da. Completely mad, but perhaps he did have a point. Sure, at the top of his head. Was that a joke? It's a great issue. Alright, I'm going to read this one more. And then we're going to stop and do the rest in another video. I'm going to split this up because it's a pretty long story, so Infinity Gauntlet will probably be split up to 3 or 4 videos. I don't feel like rushing reading them because they're so good. I read the Infinity Gauntlet story, I think like maybe once every year around Christmas time, so perfect timing. Mighty Galactus gave me metallic skin and incredible power. One of those talents is the ability to track anything through the near infinite distances of space. But can even I accomplish the goal I've set for myself? Will I be able to put down evil Thanos? It's hard to believe that it was only yesterday Thanos Thanos and I met on this barren planet. He would have used his teleportation platform to depart from this desolate locale. Had he used a spacecraft, my task would be a simple one. My powers could easily track the telltale microscopic emissions left by his vehicle. But Thanos is not your conventional spacefarer. He possesses teleportation technology that makes him an elusive quarry. I once faced a foe with similar capabilities and used my skills to track him. But then I was on a planet's surface and the distances involved were mere miles. Thanos jumps from one solar system to another in the blink of an eye. Can his system of teleportation be traced? There is only one way to find out. I must narrow the range of my spectroscopic vision down to the electromagnetic. Any matter traveling through space must leave some trail. Nothing that let me broaden my view into the subatomic. Still nothing, so I must raise the frequency range of my vision. Thanos is like no foe I have faced. Perhaps he operates on unheard of spectral levels. There it is. Amazing the technologies involved in operating on this level would tax even Galactus's scientific abilities. Yet Thanos roams here freely. What manner of enemy have you made for yourself this time, server? The end of this trail will answer that question and so many other unspoken queries about Thanos and Titan. And then again, perhaps it won't. The trail splits off into 6 different directions, disappearing into the depths of space. Once again, Thanos has outfoxed me. He foresaw the possibility of me tracking him, and devised a means to thwart me. Always one step ahead. Several hours later on Titan, a moon of Saturn, a construct world, ruled by gentle mentor. Yes, even as a child, Thanos was terribly clever. Of course, that wouldn't have been a hardship if the lad had been so contemptibly evil also. I am sorry about dredging up such painful memories for you, Mentor. But Captain America claimed you would be my best source for information on Thanos. And I'll gladly give it, for my firstborn is truly the devil personified. As I said, Thanos was always a problem. As a child, tantrums sneaking around causing trouble. I thought he'd grow out of it. Then his mother died in a horrendous accident. At least that's what we thought it was at the time. Years later, it became terribly apparent that Thanos murdered her. He was only 10 years old at the time. Who would have thought? 8 years later, he killed a young girl in the same fashion. The monster held her captive in the woods for a week before he finally did away with her. When he finally found her, it was ghastly. Thanos fled from Titan before we could apprehend him. He grew to full manhood out of the perilous outer rim of the galaxy. He was heir to great power, and those wild territories taught him how to use those gifts ruthlessly. He survived and prospered within that environment for then 8 decades. And then he returned home, truly a force to be reckoned with. Peaceful Titan fell easily before his dark might. Please tell me about it. Meanwhile, not 50 paces away in the planet's outer defense monitoring station. What's this? Something on the scanner, Master Eros. Another visitor from space, 2 in one day. Amazing. This one also arrives without a benefit of a spacecraft. I wonder who. Well, a slight adjustment to the monitor will tell me. by the Great Nebula. Mentor must be informed immediately. Because of his past experience and what you've told me about your recent encounter with Thanos, I must warn you, Server. Take seriously his threat to kill off half the population of the universe. Even before returning from the dead, Thanos was quite capable and willing to accomplish such a dastardly act. But why? Because he was always fascinated by and had an incomprehensible relationship with death. Thanos has long served that dark mistress extremely well. There is only one way to stop Thanos from achieving his mad goal. You will have to kill my son. You can't go in there. What's this? It sounds like my other son, Arrows. We've met. But I don't believe I know this other gentleman. His name is Drax the Destroyer. Of course, now I recognize him from the Avengers files. He seems changed. Where is Thanos? In more ways than are immediately apparent, Drax always had some strange bond with Thanos. Drax was created by Kronos, the god of Titan, to punish Thanos, an admittedly half-hearted attempt at discipline. Where's Thanos? Kronos crafted the uncontrollable desire to see Thanos destroyed into the soul of a dead Earthman. How did he do that? Who knows? He then housed that odd combination inside the nearly indestructible brute that now stands before you. Looks formidable. He is, but not very efficient. Where's Thanos? Is there something wrong with him? Asking that same question over and over again. My guess is that the odd nature of Thanos' revival has adversely affected the Destroyer's current reanimation. In the past, he was always unerringly guided to Thanos by some weird sixth sense. Thus, we were spared the bother of all these rapacious inquiries. Server, where's Thanos? Yes, what do you want? Oh, nothing. It would appear that Drax has been directing his questions to you all this time. He must sense your recent proximity to my son. Where is Thanos? I wish I knew that myself. Where? I don't know. Not very bright, is he? Suffered brain death in his last incarnation. Where? I don't know. And I repeat, I don't know. Understand? Yes, sort of. Then that settles that. No, it don't. Destroyer senses you meet Thanos again soon. That's heartening news, I think. So Destroyers stick with you until then. I don't think so. I travel best alone. Mentor, thank you for all your help. I'll be going now. That feat may be more easily said than done. What? The brute is actually holding my board in place, keeping me from taking off. How? The Destroyer has always been able to tap into some seemingly limitless power reservoir. Kronos gifted Drax for dealing with Thanos, I suppose. Well, the Silver Surfer also knows something about power and tactics. Let us see how this Destroyer fares when I shift my momentum into reverse gear. Bye, guys. Have fun. Arrows, I'm shocked. Those two are extremely powerful beings in conflict. Two extremely powerful boobs. They could end up killing one another. great, but I doubt we'll be that lucky. Meanwhile, above the methane outer atmosphere of Titan, can't shake the behemoth from my board no matter what maneuver I try. I'd like to avoid direct physical confrontation with this simplification if I can. He's not evil, just overly annoying. That asteroid might prove to be the answer to my problem. Let us go find Thanos. Boom. Well, that's the end of that nonsense. Feel somewhat bad about dealing with Drax in such a matter, but I sensed he possessed enough power to be no more than shaken up by that stunt. I had to lose him, no telling what problems he'd create for me while searching for Thanos. It would have been like traveling with the Hulk, and now too, huh? Where's Thanos? We're back to that point, are we? What did you say to a little dip into the sun to see how fireproof you are? You can hop off anytime it gets too hot for you, Drax. You can fly, can't you? Where's Thanos? That was a complete waste of time. Tell me, Drax, are you capable of feeling any pain? Only the aching desire to see Thanos dead. This part is great. A truly one-track thought process, but what am I going to do with him? At this rate, it might take me days to elude him. Days I can't waste so foolishly. Foolishly, perhaps I'm going about this in the wrong way. This impossible man claimed I needed to get more humor in my life. That advice might prove appropriate in this case. The Destroyer has the soul of an Earthman, probably an American from the sound of his voice. Take me to Thanos. Drax, I just remembered a way to locate Thanos. Oh, tell me. There are machines back on Earth that can locate Thanos for us. Earth. Yes, you remember Earth. These devices are called information machines. But we must be patient with these machines. Sometimes it takes them a while to answer your question. One of these miracle machines can be found at the headquarters of the Fantastic Four. I'm sure my friend the Human Torch will let us borrow it. Information machine? You mean a computer? No, I mean the wondrous device you have in this room. In there. The only machine in there is exactly the information machine. Have a seat, Drax. Why don't you check back with us in about 4 hours, Johnny? Sure, whatever you say. Lucy. Destroyer, remember Lucy? Of course you do. Sit back and relax. Lucy, what you done this time? Don't look at this mess. This is one of my favorite good pages in comics, by the way. Silver Surfer and Drax watching TV together. A horse is a horse, of course, of course. Nobody can talk to a horse, of course. Little Joe and Oz will check out the lower 40 while Adam and I, faster than a speeding bullet, able to leap over the top of a tall building in a single bound, is Superman. And up from the ground comes a bubbling crude, oil that is black, black gold, Texas tea. Have gun, will travel, reads the card of the man, a soldier of fortune in a savage land. I'm fixin' on meeting Aunt B and Opie at the picnic and starring Jerry Mathers as the beaver. Huh? Where's Surfer? Okay guys, so I'm going to stop there. We got through just about half of it. I'd say perfect. And we're gonna leave off. We're gonna do the next video, reading the rest of this. So that was the Rebirth of Thanos Part 1. humor in there, some plot developments and whatnot. This is, I think, my favorite part of the story coming up, where it's Thanos going around the universe trying to get all of the gems. So we have that to look forward to. I'm excited for that. Okay, guys, that was it. Number 1 in the Infinity Gauntlet series. Figuring we'll probably do this over a week or two, so more videos to come. Again, subscribe, like, comment, let me know what you're thinking, what you want, what you're doing. I'm setting up a Twitter as well, maybe a Facebook page to communicate with anyone who wants to communicate. Any ideas you have or suggestions?